much for being with us today. I'm Kathleen Hawkins, your proud president and founder of WOAMTEC. We have an amazing show ahead today, for you. We're going to meet some amazing people. You will be educated, motivated, and empowered. But first, I want to just take a real quick moment to tell you a little bit about some upcoming events, some new chapters that are launching. We launched our first trilingual chapter today. I can't wait to hear all about it, Lucia. Thank you for taking on the endeavor to build our vision and to continue to empower women across your community and to bring in different cultures. How cool is that? We also have a lot of great things still going on in Texas. You're still on the grow. Maryland is still doing phenomenal. Georgia, we have a brand new director in Georgia. Susan, welcome to our leadership team. And we have 18 different chapters launching in the next 30 days on our board right now. So we are so excited. You may have met Latifa, who is a new member of our team, as well as Stacy, two fabulous women that are helping us continue to strengthen businesses and build communities across America. So please give them a warm WOAMTEC welcome. For those of you that don't know what WOAMTEC is, we are the premier business building organization for women and a few good men. And we're continuing to grow. We're looking for leaders. So if you know somebody that could get excited about being paid to network and grow their own business, at the same time get free advertising opportunity, a free membership, please reach out and give us a call, because we are looking for dynamic, positive, professional, passionate women that believe in helping other women and men keep their faith first, their family second, and their career third. But first, I want to take a moment, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. You see, WOAMTEC is so much more than just networking. We are a business building organization that is here to empower you, to mastermind with you, to educate you, and to strengthen your business. And today, we're going to work on doing that by sharing three amazing individuals with you that are going to teach you how to look better, feel better, live better, and run a more successful, balanced business. My first guest, I'm so pleased to have here today. I can't sum up what she does in one word, because she spins more plates than I can imagine, and she is just a multitasking mom that is an amazing person. So please welcome to the set today the wonderful Allison Krieger. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I know you're so busy, so for taking time out of your schedule to be with us here means a great deal to me. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Well, which hat would you like me to wear right now?
let's focus. Just build up. Start.
Okay. So I started Hope, which was a passion of mine many years ago. I went through a terrible eating disorder while I was in high school, and so we started a nonprofit organization to prevent others from traveling down that path. So we're going to turn 12 in December, which is just incredible. I travel and I speak to schools and to organizations to prevent other people from traveling down the same path that I did. That also led me into my day job, as I call it, my career. I work for a treatment center, a brand new treatment center that's opening in Umatilla, and it's called the Recovery Village. And so we work specifically with those struggling with eating disorders as well as substance abuse addiction issues. And so that's a new project that I'm working on, and very blessed. I spent the last year at the University of Florida in Shands working with their eating disorder program as well as their substance abuse program. So to be able to be a part of the Recovery Village team is incredible. And then I'm also a small business owner, and I'm following my passion with that. I started coaching young women when I was actually going through law school, as so many people dealt with. My husband lost his job right after I started law school, and so coaching became something that I could do on the side to earn some income, you know, to help support our family. And it turned into something so much more, and so I opened a studio in Winter Park In August, we signed our lease. We opened our doors in October, and it's called McKenna Walsh. About 80% deals with pageantry, because I'm a former pageant girl myself, and so we
don't downplay it like that, girlfriend. Tell everybody what you're former.
I'm a former Miss Florida, and so I train other young women that are competing in the Miss America organization, as well as some that compete in Miss USA. But then we also coach young women between the ages of 13 and 24 that are just really looking for that professional polish or that confidence to accomplish what they want to accomplish in their lives, helping them with goal setting and building their resume so that they're putting their best foot forward.
Well, let's go back to talking about hope for a little bit, because I think that's so important, and there's so many things that you can teach and educate our members with. But let's talk about eating disorders and the problem that you said as young as 8 years old nowadays. What are some of the signs or concerns that moms should look out for and be aware of?
You know, sadly, it's affecting kids younger and younger. You know, I hate getting the phone call from a mother that says, my child's 8 years old and she's not eating. She's starving herself because she doesn't want to get fat. It certainly doesn't always start from that type of motivation. My eating disorder when I was in high school was all about control. I was a competitive athlete, and so I would push myself. I had very perfectionistic tendencies, and I was very hard on myself. I didn't wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to be a bulimic and anorexic today, but my cycle of behavior turned into something that was very, very serious, very long-term side effects as a result of my eating disorder. So you have to look for those behaviors. If your kids are restricting, if they're not eating, if they're cutting out food groups all of a sudden, if they're making comments or I feel fat, I feel bloated. And that's something for parents to really pay attention to and to focus on what they're doing in front of their children. You know, don't stand in front of the mirror and say, oh, I feel bloated today or I feel fat today, because in their eyes, you're perfect. Right. You know, mom and dad are perfect, and if something's wrong with them, or their big sister or big brother is perfect, and if mom and dad are saying that, then what's wrong with them? Right. And they're going to start to internalize those messages. Obviously, watch after food time if they're doing any type of purging, whether it's going to the bathroom, whether it's using laxatives, whether it's excessive exercise to burn off every calorie that they've just consumed. Those are the types of behaviors that you really have to watch out for and address immediately, because the quicker that you can address it and they can get the help that they need, the less likely that the problem will persist or that they'll relapse.
Right,
but
absolutely.
You have to get treatment.
Now, you have this new treatment facility that you're working with. What are some of the types of treatments that you give? Like, how can these people help you, or how can you help them?
Well, you know, eating disorders and substance abuse are running rampant in our society, unfortunately. You know, prescription pill abuse is a huge problem. And statistically, every family knows somebody that's coping with this. And so this new facility has everything under one roof, which is unheard of. Everything from a designated detox, which right now there isn't anything like that. You can get detox in the emergency room, but unless, you know, that's where you want to be, there's really no other alternative. And so this facility has that. You walk in, it's completely anonymous, so you don't have to worry about anybody knowing that you're taking that step. If, you know, because there's a lot of shame attached to what we're dealing with. And there is a full residential program. You know, the ideal is that you'll be there for 90 days, but you know, sometimes we only get you for 28. And so 90 days, you can be there in the residential program, in the partial hospitalization program, which is a step down, or the intensive outpatient program. And every patient is treated, you know, as a case-by-case basis, obviously, but if they're dealing with a substance abuse problem, we can deal with that. Addiction, alcoholism, eating disorder, any level of that we can address. And there's such an issue with co-occurring disorders right now, with eating disorders with a substance abuse problem. We have an incredible specialist who's Dr. Kevin Wandler. He came to us originally from Arizona and is now in he went to UF and Shands, and I started working with him there, but really a legend in this field. And now he's with us at the Recovery Village, and addiction psychiatrist with a real specialization in eating disorders. And what we're noticing is that the co-occurring with eating disorders and a substance problem is deadly instantly. I mean, these individuals are starving themselves, they're depriving themselves, and then they're using some type of substance to harm themselves. And that combination can just be very scary and fatal.
Well, no different than what you do in the pageant world and working with those girls. You really like to empower young ladies to feel more comfortable with who they are. Tell us about the True Jeans for Blue Jeans campaign.
Oh my gosh.
And then we're going to talk about a contest that we're going to have coming up soon.
Absolutely. Well, you know, about 6-7 years ago, I was working in a dance studio, in a twirling studio. I grew up as a competitive dancer and twirler, and I realized that I was in an environment in which I could really empower our youth to look at the bigger picture and not say, you know, oh, I'm not fitting into the size jeans right now, something's wrong with me. No, donate the jeans, take care of yourself, focus on health and nutrition, and being the best version of yourselves, as opposed to identifying success with the size of your jeans.
Right.
So donate them. And so that first drive, we collected about 1,000 pair of jeans between these 800 kids that I was, involved with, and it just kind of caught on. And then I became Miss Florida, and the Miss Florida contestants wrapped their arms around it. We got another 1,500 pair, and it kept growing and growing and growing. WOAMTEC got involved and certainly made a huge impact on the campaign as well. And we've collected 17,000 pair of jeans over the last 6 years, and they've been donated to organizations all over the world, which is just incredible. And what we really try to focus on now is providing jeans to the local communities from which they came from. So if South Florida collects 1,000 jeans, I want 1,000 jeans to stay in South Florida, even if it means we have to swap them out so they can be donated to organizations.
I just got goosebumps. I think that's great. And I know that it's not just women's jeans, it's men's, women's, kids. Absolutely. And even if they're damaged, do you still take those?
Absolutely. We take everything. And the one issue that a lot of people aren't aware of is that men are affected by body image issues too. And 1 in 4 of those that are struggling with an eating disorder is a man or a young boy. So it's something that we try to spread this message across all ages and all. Yeah, absolutely. It's such a startling statistic, and it's very sad and very scary. So we talk to everybody about this, all ages, and so we take them, and if they are damaged, there's an organization in South Florida that we donate them to. It's called Treasure the Children, and they take the jeans that can no longer be worn, and they cut them up and they make them into quilts, and they're donated to the hospitals for babies that are born with HIV.
Oh.
And so every scrap is used, and I always encourage those that want to start jeans drives to find organizations that really need them, women's shelters, homeless shelters, foster homes, and things like that, to help provide something that seems so simple to us, but while we're getting rid of it and shedding it because of whatever reason, because they don't fit anymore, because they're just not the right style anymore, we're giving somebody else something that they might not have at all.
That they desperately need. As a foster mom myself, I can tell you that I experienced, I know what it's like. I mean, every mom knows what it's like when you go back to school, the school starts, or your kids grow an inch and their jeans are too small. Giving jeans to 3 kids can be several $100s, and foster moms don't get that kind of money. They don't have it. Abused women's shelters, that's a staple in your wardrobe that everybody needs at least 1 pair. So I think that's great. And we do have a contest that's coming up to you soon. I'm so excited to talk about. That is the Blue Jeans for True Dreams campaign that Allison's doing for all of our WOAMTEC members. I challenge you to start your chapter collecting as many jeans as you can. Whichever chapter collects the most jeans between now and August 1st of 2013 is going to win a prize. Everybody in the chapter will win a prize, but also your director will have the ability to give away 2 free annual memberships to the chapter. So start your jeans collection. And just to kind of give you a small hint that I did discover the other day, last year, one of our chapters who won the contest, Chateau Elan, Jenny Bishop, shout out to you, girlfriend. She won the contest, and what she did is she partnered with a local consignment shop, and any jeans that they weren't willing to take, they donated to her. So she got several hundred jeans from that consignment shop alone, which is really cool.
And go to garage sales. Collect that way, or just through your church. There's so many different ways, and it's really a great message to send to the community, and then you're helping a lot of people at the same time.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so excited. Now, I do want to ask you a question.
Yes.
For all the working moms that are out there that are busy already,
Yes.
they're juggling being a parent, they're juggling their job, they're overwhelmed and stressed. You not only have a full-time job, you're a parent, you're busy already, you've started a new sporting clothing line, which I think is awesome, and I'd love for you to share with us about that, but in a nonprofit. Right. So how do you balance it all?
Really good time management. I think that was something that my grandmother taught me at a very early age, was to always carry my planner with me, and now it's on my cell phone, but it was always delegate the time that you need to delegate, and put the things that are most important in there first so that they don't get overlooked, because it's always so easy to say, you know what, on that Sunday I'm going to cut out a little early so I can go to the studio and work. No, the tendency for people that are super busy is to work to get ahead, but then what do? You just pile more on top of yourself. Right. So, and I think establishing boundaries is so important, personal and professional, and saying, you know what, at 5 o'clock or at 6 o'clock, I have to shut down for a couple of hours, because you know what, I need to have splishy splashy time with my daughter at bath time, and feed her dinner and put her to bed, and I need that just as much as she needs that. And knowing that you know, I've got a great support team around me. I'm very lucky to have, you know, my mom helps out a lot with Maddie, and certainly we're a very small family, but we hold on tight. And I think that that's so special, and to have that support. But it is boundaries and time management, I think, are the two things that I've learned, you know, especially in the last couple of years as I've really gone into my career field and also pursuing my passion. And, you know, I love what I do. And as we were talking before, I feel like I've got two very distinct areas that I focus in, and I love both of them so much. And, you know, I will always be involved in the eating disorder world, but I also really enjoy mentoring young women. And so those are two things that right now I want to make sure that I have plenty of time to do while still taking care of my family
so
and my daughter.
Find what you love, and you'll love doing it, and
Absolutely.
you'll be able to find balance.
You'll never work a day in your life.
I think
ever.
that's important.
So.
Now, you mentor young ladies.
Yes.
You know, whether we're 14 or 40, you know, what would be some of the biggest things that you teach these women? Like, what would be the best advice you could give our audience members?
The first lesson, no matter what, and I don't care if they feel that as they're professional pageant girls, or they've really got it under control as a teenager or a young adult, or, you know, even a working woman, we talk about confidence. Because when you have that and you understand who you are, what makes you tick, what are your goals, what are your short-term and long-term goals, what are your fears, addressing where you want to be, and more importantly than that, how you're going to get there, and establishing your own roadmap for success. And, you know, it's one thing to have these huge goals, but make them realistic, and then break it down into 3 or 4 or 5 steps, and give yourself a timeline. Because you can say, oh, you know what, by the time I'm 30 I want to do this, by the time I'm 40 I want to do that, but give yourself a deadline, because otherwise time gets away from us. I swear this year is flying by faster than any other year before, but I have timelines, and I make vision boards for myself. My girls make vision boards. Where do they want to be? And knowing exactly what you have to do to prepare yourself for success, and then don't go into anything without having all of those tools with you.
I think that's awesome. Thank you so much
You're
for sharing.
welcome.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
you and all of you do. But tell us about your clothing line real quick before you leave.
So that's been so fun. Again, just kind of when an opportunity falls into your lap, you either leap and go get it, or you wait and think too much about it sometimes. But we leapt, and we met a clothing designer, and this was through the McKenna Walsh business as well. And the teens in the Miss America organization don't compete in swimsuit, they compete in fitness wear. But there wasn't any company that was specifically providing a fitness wear that looked incredible on stage, that did what we needed it to do for the girls to compete, that they felt really good in, that kind of held them where they needed to be so they could do the routines that they have to do to compete.
So kind of like Spanx for the gym?
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.
And so we came up with this custom couture compression fitness line, and you pick what you want. You pick your style, you pick your design, you pick all the fabric, all the trim, the accessories, everything, and it's built for you. And it's incredible. And so we've been very lucky. We're the official fitness wear for the Miss Florida pageant this year and Miss South Carolina, 2 really big pageant states. So that's really exciting for us. But then we're going into boutiques and to retailers as well, because everybody wants to feel good in the gym. If you're working hard, we want your fitness wear to make you look great too. So,
absolutely.
it's working as hard as you do.
Yay!
So,
Well, I can't wait to check it out. For those people that might want to see it, how do they find you? What's your website?
McKennaWalsh.com.
Okay, McKennaWalsh.com. Thank you again, Allison,
Thank
for being
you.
here today.
Thank
You
you
are
so
a gem,
much.
and we love you so much. And you will see her as one of our speakers soon for one of our Confident Women conferences in the future. So now what I'd like to do is take a moment and just chat with you a little bit about our Confident Women Conference and learn a little bit more about overcoming adversity. It's really important. The conference is coming up April 18th and 19th. You don't have to attend both days. You can attend 1 or 2, half a day or a full day, whatever your schedule permits, as low as $39, and the most expensive ticket price for both days is only $99. If you book before Monday, you can save. So make sure you go to WOAMTEC.com and you'll be able to register for the Confident Women Conference soon. Now, let's just take a moment and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
How do you succeed in business when everything around you seems to be in flames? Hi, I'm Dawn Peachy, and sometimes the toughest thing about being in business is, well, actually getting to do your business. There's so many things pulling us in so many different directions. Sure, you've got a great product, your service is next to none, and then pow, something hits you, there's a tragedy. There's been an accident, an illness, the death of a loved one, maybe even a divorce. How do you continue to move forward in your life when everything around you seems to be holding you back? Join me with WOAMTEC's Confident Women Conference this coming April 18th and 19th at the Rosen Plaza. We're going to fireproof your business because I'm going to help you fireproof your life. Kathleen wants me to go beyond sales training. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to be teaching you from my own personal tragic experiences how we continue to move forward and not only survive, but thrive in the face of adversity. You can double, even triple your business. So join me April 18th and 19th for WOAMTEC's Confident Woman Conference. We're going to fireproof your business, and I want to see you there.
And I want to see you there too. So please visit WOAMTEC.com and register today. It's going to be an amazing event. This time there's live feed, so you'll be able to see the speaker from any part in the room. We have over 30 fantastic vendors that will be showcasing networking, goodie bags, silent auctions to support the WOAMTEC Foundation, Courage to Dream charity. So come on out and have a good time and mix and mingle with some dynamic women. Now, there are a few good men that are part of WOAMTEC, as I mentioned before. Everybody needs a good guy around. And I want to introduce you to one of those good men right now. This gentleman is the president, CEO, both of the Orlando Christian Chamber. Please welcome to the set today, Mark Goldstein. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so glad to have you. It's a pleasure to know you.
It's a pleasure to know you too, and I'm glad I'm one of those few good men.
I am too. I am too. And you are a very, very nice gentleman, and you've made a lot of great connections for me. So first, I want to tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Thank you. Well, with the name Goldstein, you kind of wonder, well, how can you be part of a Christian Chamber of Commerce? I became a Christian in 1981, cross-trained, you know, and still Jewish, Christian, you know, just kind of one of those anomaly kind of things.
Absolutely.
But I spent about a decade in the Air Force and then got out. My goal was to be the first Jewish president of the United States. Somewhere along the line that changed, and instead of going to law school, I went to seminary. I was a pastor for a couple of years, and then I realized that my calling was really in the marketplace. And I was in Christian broadcasting for about 15 years, published a magazine, and as I was sharing with Becky Niemann, our next guest, listening to her fabulous story, her journey, I was sharing with her how you know, I live by the adage that seasons. So my whole background, everything I've gone through just kind of came together when I was asked to take over the Central Florida Christian Chamber, and that was about 4 years ago.
Isn't it great how God works all that out for you?
Absolutely.
I think it's terrific. Now the Chamber, we kind of came together because we have mutual philosophies in how to build relationships. So talk to me a little bit about what you suggest to your members and what's important to you in relationship building.
Well, first of all, folks know that around me you can't use the N-word, which is networking. You know, I do not believe in networking. I believe in relationship building. And I think the difference is subtle but significant. I think when the average person thinks about networking, going to an event, it's about how many business cards I can get out, how many I can get back, how many people I can tell what I do. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't work. You know, at our lunches once in a while, and I think you've heard me do this, I'll ask the audience, let me see a show of hands, those of you who have a product or service to sell. Every hand goes up. Then I ask them, all right, put your hands down. Now let me see a show of hands of those of you who came here today to buy something. Not a hand goes up. So I said, okay, what are you doing here today to make this time worthwhile? For me, when people go to network, they're going in a sales mode. When they show up somewhere to relationship build, they're going there in a servant mode. And, you know, Zig Ziglar said it best. You can have everything in life that you want if you help enough other people get what they want. So what I encourage people to do when they go to these meetings, if you get a card, you know, listen to what somebody's saying. Look, we have one mouth and two ears. We should use them proportionately. Listen to what somebody is saying. Find something that is of an interest or that you can latch onto. Find a time after that event to get together to kind of drill down to see how something that you can do can help them. At the end of the day, every call you go on is going to be successful because there's going to be something positive that happens from that.
Plus, and you help so many other people get what they want. It's almost natural that people want to respond to help you, because
Absolutely.
there's so many times when in everything you do and everything you say that people are just wanting from you, that when somebody actually says, how can I help you? How can I assist you in reaching your goals? It shocks you, you know, it really does shock you. It's like, why do you want to help me? You know, and it really changes the dynamics of the relationship.
Sure.
Now, when you refer people to other people, you do it in a very creative way. Can you talk about how you help other people reach their goals?
Absolutely. And actually, there's 3 categories. You have cold calls, referrals, and recommendations. Cold calls stink. Nobody likes cold calls. And we all know when we've gone to some of these meetings and somebody would say, well, here, oh, you do this, you should call this person or that person. They may need your service. They probably don't know me too well, so don't use my name. Chances are they do know them well, and that's why they don't want them to know their name.
Right.
Cold calls are terrible. In my way of thinking, they're a waste of time. Then you have referrals. Referrals are one step up, I think, from cold calls, in that somebody will say, well, this person, I know they could use your service. Give them a call. You can use my name. But, okay, that might get you in the door. Then you have recommendation. And let's face it, we all love saying, I know a guy, I know a lady. Because if we send somebody that we know is all that and a bag of chips, they're going to make us look good.
Right.
And so we love doing recommendations. The problem is we don't do it because we haven't built that time to get to know someone. We haven't developed the relationship to give the recommendation.
Absolutely, and you know, we talked about that last month on the show when if you don't know somebody that well, you're not going to be vulnerable with them, you're not going to be honest with them, you're not going to let your guard down and your defense down, so you may not come into Camy Couture, who you're going to meet in just a little bit, and say, try on clothes, because you may not feel comfortable with your body. You know, that's important. You may not tell an attorney that I need to get a divorce because you don't want him to know that you need to get a divorce, or the story of what happened. So then you end up going to somebody you don't know to avoid the embarrassment, and that defeats the purpose. And you have to break those guards down. Now, you do a lot of one-on-ones. You meet at Panera Bread often just to get to know each other, just for the sake of chatting and talking. What is another thing that you would recommend to somebody that's viewing right now to help them build their business and grow their business?
Well, and again, I think it comes back to recommending. I think what you want to do is, if you have a customer or a client that you've done a good job for, go to them, ask them if they would purposely send an email to somebody else in your behalf outlining what you've done for them and how they can benefit. Now, you asked earlier how is a unique way that I do it. I send out a facilitated introduction, and you've seen them, where I will do a paragraph on each person and tell a little about each person and why they need to meet each other. And what's wonderful is seeing these emails go out and then watch the dialogue, because I get copied on it, how that came together. If somebody does it, look, we're so eager to complain when somebody does a bad job for us. However, how often do we give attaboys to those who've done an outstanding job? Somebody that you know very well in insurance, she did an incredible job for my mother and father who had let their insurance lapse. And the way it worked out on a Sunday afternoon, she not only worked it out to where they didn't get penalized, but they actually got a better rate. It was incredible. I was blown away. That week, I sent out an email to every one of the chamber members outlining the story. Her phone started ringing that day of people saying, I want to do business with you. It's all because of taking the time to make a recommendation.
Absolutely, I love it, and it's so point on accurate, because people want, A, they'll thank you for recognizing them, so they become more loyal to you, but B, people want to do business with people, and you don't say you're qualified because you have a degree or you have a bunch of recommendations as far as on your resume is concerned. It's the recommendations that come from the people in your community, that really matter and make a difference. Now, I know we've just created a partnership with the Chamber, so if you're local and you're watching us live today, I want you to know that you can join the Chamber, or the Christian Chamber of Commerce, which tell them how often you meet,
Actually, we meet at least twice a week for different events. We have our monthly lunch. We have business after hours, which is tomorrow night. And then we have what we call Fellowship Fridays, where we meet at various bars. Since we're a regional chamber, we meet at various chamber members' locations throughout Central Florida on Friday morning and Friday afternoon. And but the relationship we have, and by the way, let me just say that when I took over the chamber, I don't believe in reinventing wheels. I'm very much into collaboration, not competition. Look, WOAMTEC is member driven. You know, you pay a fee for the year. The chamber is member driven. You pay a fee for the year. If I would not talk about WOAMTEC because I'm afraid of my members choosing WOAMTEC over the chamber, I need to get out of business. And furthermore, if somebody can't be part of our chamber and WOAMTEC, they probably shouldn't be in business anyway.
Absolutely.
So, but I knew in taking over the chamber, we wanted an emphasis to offer something specifically to women, because we know that there are women in business sometimes have a lot of times have a tougher time than guys. Doors aren't opened as well. But you know, there are things that are unique that an organization that focused on women and a few good men would benefit. Well, I didn't want to start that. I knew WOAMTEC was there. So why not have a relationship? I think the thing that a lot of people in business forget is that collaboration, cooperation
exactly
is better than looking at somebody as competition. And especially if you're a consultant, you want to have a relationship with people who do complementary, to where if you're in with a client and they say, well, can you do this? You're going to say, you bet I can. Can you do this? You bet I can.
That was a game changer for me. When I learned the importance of having strategic partnerships, when I learned to collaborate with other successful people, and you know, if you're confident in your business and if you're confident in your life, you're going to know that competition really isn't competition. That God's going to place the people in your life for a reason, and you're going to succeed no matter who else is out there, because that starts with confidence. If you don't have that confidence, then maybe you should call Allison and have a chat with her, because she can help you find it. But I think that that's important. Once I started making those strategic connections with other people, they started teaching me things, like you've taught me things that I've opened my eyes, and you know, you start to grow because you're surrounding yourself with people that are smarter, wiser, and more successful than you, and that's the only way to continue to educate yourself and rise to the top.
And I got to tell you, you are one of my heroes.
Aww.
Because I've seen WOAMTEC. I mean, the fact that you've grown the organization to as many chapters in as many states as you have, when a lot of other organizations are folding, is phenomenal. And I've heard you speak, and I can't wait till you speak at the chamber in June. You're going to be the featured speaker there. I'm already jazzed up.
Well, thank you. I'm excited about that too.
But to answer your question from before, I went all around. Let me answer it. If a WOAMTEC member wants to be a chamber member, when they join, we'll give them their first lunch at the chamber free, which is a $25 savings. And then tomorrow night, which will be Thursday night, we have a business after hours in Lake Mary. Typically it's for members only. However, if there is a WOAMTEC member who would like to attend, they can. And I guess the simplest way to have them do it, if it's okay, they can call me on my cell.
Okay, absolutely.
And then I'll just tell them how they can register. You can call 407-484-3899. And if you call right now, you're going to make my phone vibrate, and I'm going to enjoy that. So call now, 407-484-3899.
That's awesome, Mark. Thank you so much for sharing and being with us today. And I'll give them one more suggestion. If they're out there and their business is struggling and they don't know how they're going to make ends meet, or they're going month to month and they're still not recovering from this recession, because I think that that's one thing that I've learned, is there's still so many people that are out there that are trying to learn, or trying to pull themselves up out of that deep hole that the nation just went through. If you had one advice for them, what would you say to somebody that's struggling with that much adversity?
Find a mentor in the same line of business that they're in, that's been doing it for a lot of years, that there's a lot of wisdom in calling on somebody with wisdom. And I think, just learning from the masters, if you will, and just finding people who can walk you through it and who know who are wearing the shoes that you're wearing, or in
Right.
the footsteps you're in.
That's a great suggestion. One thing that I can tell you that I have experienced in the photography industry before we started WOAMTEC. My husband and I did a lot of training and education for photographers across the world, and we've published several photography books. And Jeff used to always say, well, you're telling them all of our marketing secrets when you debut this book. And it's like, well, that's okay, because by the time the book debuts, it's going to be 9 months later. Yeah. I'll have changed everything. We'll do something different. So someone that is successful is not going to be intimidated by sharing with you. As a matter of fact, they're going to be proud of the success that they've accomplished, and they're going to want to share with you and mentor you, because they look at you possibly as the next generation or the future of their business. So I think that that's wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anything else that we forgot to talk about that you want to make sure we covered?
No, I think that does. It was just an absolute honor and privilege to be here. For those of you who have never sat in this set before, it's pretty incredible what you do. It's just, WOAMTEC is just an absolutely incredible organization, and I'm just thrilled to be a member, and I'm thrilled to be able to recommend you to our chamber.
Well, likewise, back at you. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate you. Well, see, I told you you're going to learn a lot today and discover a lot of new things. Don't go away, though, because you are going to learn or see some really cool stuff. If you're dealing with menopause, if you want to slim that fat down, if you want to hide that back fat, whatever it may be, you're going to learn some wardrobe tips, suggestions, and see some really cool products in just a moment. But don't go away. We'll be right back. So, have you registered yet? You can multitask. I know you probably have more than one monitor. Go to WOAMTEC.com and register today. I am just so privileged to be in this role and to continue to work with each and every one of you. As we continue to do business assessments across the nation, we're really seeing that most small businesses across America are struggling with a lot of the same issues and a lot of the same challenges. So if you have not registered or scheduled your business assessment call with me, please call Latifah at our corporate office and make sure that we spend that time getting to know you better. As Mark mentioned, recommendations is the key, and I can't recommend you if I don't know about your business and if I don't know about you. So whether you're in Texas or California or Arizona, it doesn't matter where you're at, please make sure that you call the corporate office and take advantage of that 1-hour business assessment that every member of WOAMTEC gets, complimentary, included with their membership. I used to teach university classes, marketing and business classes, and I can tell you that for $165 to not only have access to the membership, to the website, to all of the amazing business benefits with WOAMTEC, to have that 1-hour consultation with me is worth way more than $165. And if you don't believe it, go to our website and look at some of the testimonials. Go to Facebook and look at some of the testimonials of other members that have experienced the exact same thing. So now we're going to learn about how to get rid of that back fat and how to deal with menopause and all those hot things. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the spring new fashion tips and trends. So I'd like to take a moment and introduce the owner of Camy Couture. Becky, thank you so much for being here today. Tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Camy Couture is a boutique in Altamont Springs where we have fashions, handbags, jewelry, accessories, great gift place for girlfriends. But we also do private parties and women's networking and all kinds of fun things. So it's really unique.
It is unique, and I want to take a moment and talk about it because I want to talk a little bit about some of your marketing strategies that you do and some of the, you do a lot of different things. The whole concept of your business plan, like you're closed for a certain amount of days each week. Talk to us about what your business structure is and how they cater to clients.
Okay. So we're open Wednesday through Saturday of every week. And on Mondays and Tuesdays, I do a lot of networking, a lot of meeting with women. We do fashion shows. We do all kinds of fun things like that. And it's kind of evolved much more so than I had expected. I thought, okay, I'll open this boutique and we'll do fun with fashion. We'll do fashion shows and that kind of thing. And it's really evolved in a very rewarding way. I was telling you a little earlier, we're really hitting very vulnerable spaces with women, or we're touching them on a personal level.
I think that that's important. You know, one of the things that I can tell you, Jeff, can you put me on, please? One of the things that I can tell you is people confidence. We keep mentioning confidence, and that's why it's called the Confident Women Conference. You know, confidence is so vital and important to any woman's success and what they do, because it starts from within, and that inner confidence that you have from within not only spreads off to your customers, but it spreads off to your children. And when you feel vulnerable, when you don't feel comfortable with something, I think it's really important that you look in the inside and find that confidence, and that's the first key to running a successful business. But you also, your business model is different, where you really take the time to make people feel special and make them feel appreciative. And you do, tell us what you do with Facebook, for example. That to me is the smartest marketing idea I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, some of these things have just evolved organically. You know, one thing is, well, first of all, when I say couture, I'm using it in the most casual sense, right? I'm not talking ball gowns and cocktail dresses all the time. I'm talking jeans, shorts, cute tops, you name it. And my saying is, you know, they just clothes on a rack until they find the woman they were meant for, and then they become couture, you know, and I get just as excited as they do when they find that perfect outfit. So we have them pose in front of this mirror, they just love it, and I put their photo on Facebook. And I tag them, and that's the important thing, is I tag them. And what happens from there is that all their friends will go on there and tell them how fantastic they look. And they really do feel fabulous. And the next time I see them, all they can talk about is what a special day that was and how fantastic they felt. And the bonus for me is every time they put on that outfit, they think about the experience and they really feel good about themselves.
You know, I think, excuse me, I think that's great. And one of the things that you've done there is you, A, have gotten all their information and gotten them excited about liking you and being on your social media page, but B, you've advertised your business to all their friends, their family members, the people that are going to say, hey, you look great, you know, in that new outfit. So brilliant, brilliant marketing idea. Now, I know you have a lot of things that you want to share with us today, so why don't you start by telling me a few of the hot new trends that are out this spring?
Okay, well, I wanted to bring a little bit of spring into your studio today, so I'm wearing, you know, a poppy, beautiful dress that we have with a lot of colors, but I wanted to start with my jacket, because the #1 comment that I get from my clients is, I don't want to show my arms. A lot of women feel that way. So we have these great little cover-ups, and the great part about this is that ruffles are really in, and you just get this little bit of a waterfall ruffle on the cover, and they come in a lot of different colors. This is a great way to wear a tank, you know, whether it's a shirt or a dress, and it just takes care of that problem. Now, I'm going to slip this off real quick. Hopefully I don't knock over my microphones. The other thing is that with women that don't want to show their arms, this is a great trend too. These dresses that have the cold shoulder slits in them, so you still get the trendy look of your top or dress, but at the same time your you know, problem areas, if you have them in your arms, they're still covered, so the women have that security too. So this is a really great trend that's coming out.
I love that. I love that. Do you have any other cool tips that you want to share with us today?
Yes, I think you're going to show a few of the spring fashions. The first one is it's going to be a mint lace top. Now, lace is really big this year. You know, crochet was big last year, which is also going into this year, but you're going to see more lace in all kinds of different colors, and this particular one is really dressing up a pair of jeans.
Now, your pricing is very affordable, is that correct?
Yes, we're known as the Affordable and Adorable Boutique.
Okay.
So everything is under $100, and it's all from New York, Vegas, and LA, so you're not going to see these things all around town.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so let's show the next one. Black and white is going to be huge this year. You're going to see it in all different ways, in stripes, geometric shapes, polka dots, color block. And so this one is a beautiful white top with lace sleeves and a whole panel of lace in the back. The next one also is another version of black and white. This is floral. Floral is going to be huge this spring. You'll see it everywhere in all kinds of different colors as well.
That's beautiful. Go Shalane.
Yeah, Shalane and her guns. Her arms are beautiful. This obviously is a trend that never goes out of style, which is a black dress, a little black dress. This one particularly is fantastic. It has a wood neckline, and this dress will not wrinkle. You can throw it in your purse. You can take it anywhere. You can actually have a day at the beach and then throw it on and go out to dinner. It's a fantastic dress. And these are palazzo pants. Palazzo pants are the newest trend. I bought another pair with me just to show you. They come in all kinds of fun colors. They're very wide leg. It's almost like really your permission to wear pajamas, you know, in a fashionable way. They're super comfortable. The key with palazzo pants is solid on top because the party's on the bottom. All right.
That's wonderful.
And then another trend is the stripes. So what I showed you here is more of a zebra stripe in multicolor, but you'll see stripes used in every which way. In fact, you're gonna see tops and skirts and dresses with zigzag stripes, with diagonal, up and down, you know, horizontal, vertical, every which way in one design. I mean, they're really taking stripes to a new level. And these are just some of the girls posing at the shop. You know, we really try to build everybody's self-esteem. You know, everybody, no matter what they look like, they all have something fabulous about themselves. And we really help them see that. You know, they could be having a bad day, and darn it, before they leave, I'm going to get in there and let them find that part that they can really celebrate that day.
You know, everybody wears a sign that says, "Make me feel special." And that's just another example of how you do it. You make them feel special, and your customers are going to buy. And then your customers are going to thank you for it and remember that special feeling that they gave. And that's another reason or way that I think your marketing is brilliant. You know, you mentioned the special events that you do. Tell me, like, I think that's another marketing concept that most stores and businesses don't do. How do you fill your shop and get yourself new customers? Talk to me about that marketing logic.
Well, I do a lot of networking around town, so I meet people all the time, and my natural tendency is to be a connector. So both through recommendations, but also, hey, let's partner. We make a good team. And so it's easy to fill my calendar with all kinds of events. And in fact, I have one tomorrow, a psychic tea party. You know, I mean, who would have thought you'd go to a boutique and do that? But, you know, things just evolve, just the fun things. Sometimes it's about makeup, you know, sometimes it's about weight loss, you know, it's just things that are important and of interest to women.
And you get clients there, so you're filling your store. They're seeing something new because you are a small boutique, and like you said before, you don't have a whole lot of great signage, so that's how word of mouth continues to travel.
I'm telling you, the best marketing is recommendations, you know, because women will tell women, their friends, and then I literally have women come in the door and they say, okay, I'm here. My friend was here, tell me everything. You know, it's like a little secret, you know, the best kept secret, and I love that.
Now, you said something to me earlier when we were talking today about how you approach men, and I liked that marketing concept too in what you do. So if your demographic is women, not necessarily men, you do have to have something to talk to them about. You can't just go to them in a meeting and say, oh yeah, I'm not interested in talking to you or getting to know you, because that's going to be a negative vibe. So what did you create for that?
Absolutely. Well, men buy gifts for their sweethearts. So I noticed early on, every time I said the word boutique, they kind of glazed over. So I created this card that I have specifically for men, and it's called More Time for Beer. And I hand them the card, and it says, you know, when there's time to buy a gift for your sweetheart, come see me. I'll make it super easy for you, and you'll have more time for your buds and suds. And they love it.
That's wonderful. See, it's thinking out of the box. You know, how can you take your business and think out of the box? Which, by the way, today is your 1-year anniversary for your business. So congratulations for surviving the first year.
Thank you so much. And you probably don't even know this, but I actually did the WOAMTEC fashion show at the conference the very month I had opened.
I did not know that. I did not know that. And you rocked the house. You did a very good job.
Yeah, so it seems very fitting that I'm here today.
What has been the most challenging things that you have gone through in the past year? Like, if there's a business owner that's watching that is new to business, was there ever a time when you had to say, okay, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to keep moving forward?
I think probably the thing to keep in mind is that you have to evolve to meet the needs of your clientele. So for me, I had a very unexpected, rewarding experience, which was really working on those relationships that Mark had mentioned earlier. You know, I thought, okay, I'll have a boutique, people come in, shop, find something fun, and go. But it hasn't turned out that way at all. It's turned into much more of a relationship. Like, they come in and I'm their girlfriend immediately, and we start talking at a very deep level. They're sharing personal and vulnerable experiences with them. And before they leave, I'm trying to find something fabulous about them and something, you know, that they can take with them to feel good. And Mark was brilliant. In 2 seconds, he said, you're doing marketplace ministry. And I thought, wow, that is so profound, because that's exactly how I feel. So I think I've had to evolve my model to fit that, because that's a need that these women are having. Before we can get to the next part, it's addressing them and what they're going through, and then we get to the fun of fashion.
Absolutely. Well, that's fun. Well, let's go back to the fun of fashion, because I know you brought a lot more gadgets, and I'm still waiting to see how I'm going to get slimmer quicker. So tell me about some of the things you brought here today.
All right. So I'm going to start out with the Rhonda Shear Lace Slimmer. Okay, I think we have a picture of it, but I brought one as well. And this is the most comfortable slimmer you're ever going to see. It's basically like a Spanx, but in my opinion, a little bit more comfortable. It's beautiful. Soft. Yes, it's got this gorgeous lace. It has the stick waist as well as the stick leg, so they do not roll on you. The other great part of this is it goes all the way up to meet the top of your, or the bottom of your bra, so there's no rollover. That's awesome. Everything's very tight in here. You know?
But it doesn't look like it would be as conforming, as uncomfortable as sometimes
it's not. You can wear this all day and it feels great. And so what I say is, you know, it's very tight, so there's no wiggle jiggle, and there's no muffin top, so there's no roly-polies, right? So everything is contained really nicely in this. It's great, and very comfortable. And then another really great find is this Rhonda Shear bra that has this really wide panel in the back. The wide panel allows for less back fat. You know, it's smooth, it gives a very smoothing look in the back. And I don't care how big you are or how small you are, everybody has a little bit of that going on. You know, and the front of it also has this little tank design, which is really nice. Another thing I wanted to show you is the bandeau. The bandeau bra, this is fantastic. This is made for women who have just a little bit too much cleavage going on, because a lot of the fashions do in fact go low cut. Right. And sometimes it's just not appropriate at work or at church. You just don't want to see all that all the time, you know. I mean, my theory is, you know, we want a view of the Grand Canyon. We don't want to walk through the Grand Canyon. You know? So we use these little bandeaus, and really all you see is that little triangle of this pretty lace, and it takes care of the problem immediately. And if you don't want the lace that day, you turn it over and you use the plain side. So this is just a godsend.
And do they come in different colors?
Tons of colors, yeah. Okay. So that's a lot of fun. Another thing that's a must-have, and these just look so crazy, but they are so popular. These were on the Oprah Winfrey show as well as the Katie Couric show. And these are called the Invisibelts and the Isabel. And basically it functions just like a belt. You put it on, and the beauty of it is it's not really meant to be seen. You wear it under your pants or under your jeans, and it keeps everything very flat, right where your buckle would be, because if you wear a belt with a buckle, you look bigger than you are. Right. And nobody wants that. So this is perfect. This one's a little bit more pliable, but the same type of, and this comes in black too, so the ladies like that a lot. This is the Isabel, and we're giving one of these away today.
Yes, the first person that comes into your store is going to get one of those belts, right?
Yeah, I would love that. Just make sure they mention that they saw us on WOAMTEC Live.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Now, you're not done, I know, I'm excited.
No, this is the Fiesta Resistance. This is so amazing.
Go ahead and lift it up a little bit more.
Okay, this is called Hot Girls Pearls, right? So these are for girls who are going through hot flashes. All right, they look gigantic, right? But when you touch them, they're frozen. They're ice cold. So basically, you put these in the freezer, and when you leave for the day, you put them in your little, your insulated bag, and put it in your lunchbox or carry it in your purse or whatever until you have your hot flash. Then you take them out and you put them on. They will last an hour ice cold around your neck. And then after that, put them back in the freezer. Now, literally, awesome. Kathleen, I have girls coming in, they're buying these to golf. They're buying these to wear to their son's football games. I mean, they're just loving them because they just really help. My sister has thyroid problem. She's been having hot flashes for literally 20 years. She says this is the only thing that's ever helped her. Genius. Genius idea. I love it. I love it. And they're not too big. We're divas. We can handle it. The bigger the accessory, the better you are. Absolutely. That's just how it is. We're fighting flashes with fashion.
That's great. That's great. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to take a moment as a businesswoman that has overcome the first year, because what did you say a percentage of businesses that fail in the first year?
Yeah, what I heard today was 39% don't make it to their second year, and 49% don't make it to 5 years.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
to get to the 5-year mark. You're off to a great start. But if you had any advice or recommendation to give another business owner that was watching today, what have you learned from this last year, and what advice would you give to them?
Oh my gosh, I've learned so much. I've learned so much. Probably the biggest thing is to stay true to your mission of your business, but be flexible enough to go where your clients need you to go. You know, that has been the biggest thing, because there's been so many surprises along the way for me. But that, and also networking, I absolutely cannot overstate how important it is to know people and to recommend people, and it does come back to you.
Absolutely. And you are part of WOAMTEC. You're one of our chapters. You're part of the Altamont Springs chapter?
Yeah. Well, no, I just had to move over to Winter Park.
Okay, Winter Park, which is a great group and growing, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Now, if you look back over the past year, because we all learn from our mistakes, what was the biggest mistake that you made?
Probably signage. I don't have any signage at my plaza, but that was, you know, part of my lease agreement or whatever. But that's the biggest thing I struggle with, honestly. Everything else, you know, I love meeting new people. I love meeting new women. I love going to WOAMTEC, you know, and that affords you the opportunity to really focus on women. And man, women are powerful.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I cannot tell you how many wonderful, amazing women I have met over the past year, and I still just enjoy it so much.
Forbes magazine just recently did a segment on women in business, and they specifically quoted that it was business women across America that were going to rebuild the economy. And I think that's awesome. I think it's great. So we're glad to have you part of it, and we're so thankful that you were on the show here today. I appreciate you very much, and I appreciate everybody out there that's watching this, and I hope that you share the link with your friends and tell them to watch it too, so they can continue to grow in their dreams and build their businesses. And just know that you're not alone out there. You know, everybody has gone through the challenges and the hurdles and the successes and the joy that comes with those successes. And if you need help, if there's something that you're struggling with, if it just doesn't seem to be working right all the way, then it's either you're not supposed to be doing it that way, or you need somebody to help you like get over that hurdle. And don't be afraid to ask, because as you heard from all three of these amazing people, we all kind of feel the exact same way. We all want to help each other, want to build relationships, and care about our customers. And you know, those are true attributes of great leaders and business owners and people that are going to achieve success and continue to grow. So thanks again for being here. I look forward to meeting you again next month on WOAMTEC Live, the first Wednesday of every month at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And we just look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. And I also hope to see you at the conference April 18th. Thanks, and have a great day.